everybody, I'm Courtney Hashey, cookbook author and blogger. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Court of Kitchen. Today I'm making a very fun and simple, as usual. I'm making a chicken Caesar orzo bake. So I'm combining chicken Caesar and pasta together with a tiny bit of a wink of mac and cheese. Let me show you how simple this is. So in here, in this huge bowl, I have a cup of mayonnaise and a cup of full-fat Greek yogurt. You can use sour cream. This is gonna seem like a ton. This is making quite a large bake. And enough dressing for a side seasoning. Okay, so mix those together. So what makes the Caesar taste like a Caesar? Okay, the controversial for everybody, or for a lot I should say, anchovy. I don't think Caesar salad tastes like Caesar salad without anchovy paste. And I'm making a lot here, so I'm gonna put in what I would consider probably a good tablespoon. If you are so averse to it that you can't use it, don't use it. I suggest for this amount that we're making, at least put a teaspoon in there. It really will make a difference. Lemon juice. From one lemon, about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more, fresh lemon juice. Now for our seasonings, of course, granulated onion, granulated garlic. I'm gonna say about a good half teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of both. Now here, obviously, you can put in a good 4 to 6 cloves of minced or grated garlic if you like. I keep this really easy with the granulated. And then mustard, Dijon mustard. I always make a mess with this. Dijon mustard. Okay, be nice to me. About a good tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I need that tang in there. And then Worcestershire. I like about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. Again, it adds tanginess. It needs to be in Caesar salad dressing. About 2 teaspoons. If you go upwards of a tablespoon with this amount, that's more than fine. Okay, now we're putting salt and pepper. At least a half a teaspoon of salt, because that Greek yogurt or your sour cream, if that's what you used, is not salted. And then black pepper. I always say about half the amount of black pepper to however much salt you're using. And we're missing one thing, aren't we? That's very crucial to Caesar dressing. Parmesan cheese. A good half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm getting it all out of there. I'm not leaving any of that. Okay, let's whisk it all together. That is the base of a really, really delicious Caesar dressing. The smell, I'm telling you, please try a little anchovy. And the paste is so easy. You get it right by the tomato paste in the same aisle. Okay, so now for this, I have this done. I'm going to take out some of it because I would like to cut up some romaine lettuce and dress it with some of the Caesar dressing. Put it as a side or a topper on our bake. I'm gonna take out a little bit. Make sure we can dress our salad. And the rest of this, obviously, is going to become part of our bake. Now this is where we go off the rails a bit to make this bake. I'm gonna put in 1 egg, 1 large egg. This will just help bind everything together. Like when you make lasagna, you always put an egg in the cheese. It just helps everything come together. And then for the liquids, well, let me go with this first. This is the cheese that makes it that little wink of mac and cheese. It's a cup of mozzarella. Now don't use fresh. It'll have too much moisture in it. So use low moisture mozzarella and a cup of sharp cheddar. And then 12 ounces of evaporated milk. Like I told you, this is pretty much mix, stir, and then dump. So to those 12 ounces, we need 4 more ounces of liquid. So I'm going to use 4 ounces, which is a 1/4 cup of half and half. If you want to go real heavy, you can go with heavy cream. And let's just mix this all together. Make sure that egg gets whisked in. That's the reason why I use a bowl the size of China here. It's huge. Okay. done. That is our mixture. Now, here's the orzo. Strange as strange gets, yes. Raw orzo, right out. I'm using the little ones. They're 91 count. I like the littler ones for this. That's what I'm using. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna throw this in. Telling you, it doesn't seem to make sense, but in the end, it really does. Okay, now, one other thing before we get to the chicken, one other thing that goes in here is, in here I have 2 cups of panko breadcrumbs and 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm mixing those together. I'm gonna put in some salt and pepper, of course, because every layer needs to be seasoned. So I'm gonna put in a little bit of salt and pepper to the panko. And then I'm gonna put in also some granulated onion, granulated garlic. Because this is all, some of this is going in here and some of it is going to be the crunchy topping. Think about croutons. When you have croutons on Caesar salad, as you always do, you usually have some garlic on them, flavor on them. That's what we're pretty much doing here with this panko. Think of it that way, it'll make more sense in your head. And I'm gonna put some chili flake in there because I like a little bit of chili flake running through it. That's obviously optional. It's good. And then I'm just gonna mix this together. Half of this, not half, I'm sorry, about 1/4 to 3/4, 2/3 to 3/4 goes in here. This is another way that egg and everything's gonna bind everything together to make this, to create this into a bake, a solid bake. We don't want this to be wet and soupy on the bottom, and the rest of this goes on top as the crunchy topping. Let's put that there. I'm gonna put this over here because I can top it with our baking dish. Okay, chicken. I'm using chicken thighs. I've cut them up pretty small, bite-sized pieces, pretty small, so they cook quickly in here. Again, I'm gonna salt and pepper. I'm not gonna add any more granulated onion, granulated garlic, because I think we have enough between everything else that we've done so far, but I do want to always put some salt and pepper on it. That's it. Elk. Like I said, this is a dumpling stir. I'm putting this chicken in here with everything else. Now this is the tough part. Excuse me while I move some of this out of my way. I'm gonna mix this together. So between the liquids of the evaporated milk, a half and half, an egg that's gonna bind it together, it's going to look pretty soupy now. But this is going into a 375 oven. Remember, we have that extra cheese in there to make it a little cheesy. This is going into a 375-degree oven for covered for 20 minutes. Then take the cover off. And take the cover off. And it has to go for at least another 30 minutes. This is going to be difficult. So I'm going to do my best. Success! I think so, anyway. Okay, and then we're just gonna top it with the rest of what we had over here from our toppings that we put inside of it. And like I said, 375 covered for 20 minutes. Uncover it at least 30 minutes. Check it after that. Wiggle it a little bit. If it seems too runny, leave it another 10. Take it out. Important part with this, it must rest for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Almost like when you make lasagna, it has to rest because the orzo will keep absorbing that sauce. So I'm gonna cover this with the rest of this. I'm gonna cover it, put it in the 375 oven, and then yes, it has to rest. So it's gonna take me a little while to come back. I promise I'll come back, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we're back, everybody. All right, I don't think I've gotten enough sleep lately. If you haven't noticed, which I'm sure you have, I was saying orzo when I was making this dish. It's orecchiette. It's the little Orecchiette, the 91, not orzo. That's what I used in this dish. I apologize for that. And secondly, I didn't mention how much chicken I used. I used 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I cut them up into small pieces. You could put in more chicken if you wanted a little bit more meat, obviously. But sorry about that flub, or those flubs. All right, I'm gonna just put some of this on my plate. We'll see how, look how, see the Orecchiette, even at the edges, they get a little crispy, come out. The inside is so creamy and cheesy. Yep, that's where it is right there. See that cheese? Oh, yeah. I just drizzled with a tiny bit of paprika on top. I don't like to put this under the broiler to get it really golden because of the Orecchiette that's coming out. It could get a little bit too crisp. And here's the lettuce with our leftover, which is just romaine, with our leftover dressing. I like to put this on the side. Who doesn't want Caesar salad on the side of your Caesar bake? So let's give this a taste. You won't believe how this crunchy topping. The Orecchiette is cooked through perfectly. It has gotten, and it's come together as a nice bake. I did let it rest for 20 minutes, which came out perfectly. Chicken, I can see by cutting it through, is completely tender and so good. And then we have our side Caesar. This is really fun. Who doesn't love Caesar salad, and who doesn't love a pasta dish? So put them together. So get in the kitchen and make your Orecchiette chicken Caesar bake and have fun with it with your family and friends. It was fast and easy. The waiting time is no big deal. So thank you for watching. Your likes, shares, and comments always make me very happy. So keep them coming. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Remember to hit the cute little bell icon over there. And as you always know,